Hi everybody, and welcome to Let's Make a Mess. This is my little channel here on acrylic paint pours. And on this first video I just wanted to go through what you need to get started and some helpful tips. So first things first, obviously you're going to need paint. And there's a lot of paint out there, from the liquid acrylic craft paint that you can find at Hobby Lobby to the medium bodied art paint and the Amsterdam, which is my personal favorite, great for cells. And then there's the stuff that would be kind of considered house paint or furniture paint, and this can also be used. Some things to know about these. Liquid paints will conform to the surface, flatten out really easily. Medium body paints will not. They will maintain their shape. And in acrylic pouring, the most important thing is consistency. So you're going to want your paints to run at the same rate. So you're going to want to have your paints running down at the same. You see how they're a little bit different there? So you don't want that. You want them to run at the same rate. Now, what you can do to thin those out is use polycrylic. So I'd add a couple of drops of polycrylic to the red, and it would thin it out to be the same as the purple. You'll need a pouring medium, and there's lots of them out there. One of my personal favorites is the Flowatrol. You can pick this up at any hardware store, painting store for 12 to 14 bucks for a gallon, or you can pick it up online on Amazon. It's a little bit more spendy, which is what I was doing when I first started, was buying the quartz for like 7 or 8 bucks a pop. And then I found it at the hardware store, and it's much cheaper. There's also, you can use glue all and water at a 60-40 ratio, 60% glue, 40% water. That is not one of my favorites, though. I don't like using that. For a base paint, you can use Color Place interior paint, whatever latex brand paint you can use. Most of it's just going to get flung off. A base paint is really important because it helps the paint to flow. If you don't have a base paint or a pillow paint on your canvas, what's going to happen is the paint is going to curl under or distort, and that ruins a lot of paintings really quickly. Not to say that the painting still can't come out nice, but it's a lot nicer when you have a pillow paint. Stuff to mix in. These cups are great, about the perfect size for a single color. I got these at Walmart for $2 for 100 cups. And you're going to want popsicle sticks for stirring. They're cheap. Get 100 of them for $1. Or you can find the bigger ones in the paint section at the store for $1 for a pack of 30. Those are great for stirring larger volumes of color. You're going to want some gloves, and I suggest getting something with the long cuff, because you'd be surprised how much paint you get everywhere. I would suggest that you get yourself a spinner. This is a cheap plastic spinner, 15 bucks on Amazon. You can see it stops spinning pretty rapidly, whereas the metal one, nice and smooth, keeps spinning for a long time. It's worth the 30 bucks. Definitely get yourself the more expensive one. That way you don't have to buy it later and spend more money because you bought both of them. And you can see that it's still spinning. Great product. You'll also want to get yourself, if you're going to be doing dust pours or blooms, you're going to want to get yourself a cheap hair dryer. I got this sucker at Walmart for 15 bucks. got a great attachment on it. Super great for what you're doing with it. I suggest getting some bottles to store your paint in when you're done mixing it, done using it. You can throw it in the bottle. Not only does it help so that you can store it for the next day and use it, the bubbles go out. You know, the longer you let your paint sit after you've mixed it, bubbles all go to the top, and then you have a really nice consistency paint that you can use. And it's got this handy dandy pour spout for application. It's great. So I found those on Amazon, 40 of them for I think 12 bucks. And you can get whatever size you think you're going to need. I just got the 4 ounce, or no, those are 2 ounce, sorry, the 2 ounce ones. You're going to want a torch. I just got this little blazer torch. It was 15 bucks on Amazon. You know, if you're going to be making large amounts of paint and want to store it, you know, get the larger. I think this was $1 at Walmart. There's also liquid paints that you can buy already pre-made. This is an example. I mean, there's plenty of brands out there, but this one's ready to pour. I don't really like using those as much as making my own pour medium and using that. You can dial it in where you want it. I think the ones that you buy pre-made are a little bit too thin. Another good pouring medium is the Kef, and it's 100% silicone, so you get cells with this really easily. Speaking of cells, the trick that I learned with silicone is the longer that you stir it, the smaller the cells will be. So if you want larger cells, just don't stir it for very long. Pretty simple, 2 to 3 drops per cup of paint, and that's that. So as far as making your paintings nice when they're finished, throw some tape on the back so that none of the paint gets on there, otherwise you're going to end up with something like this, and that's just not very professional. It makes a really nice painting kind of look not so professional. So that's a really great tip. Get yourself some tools. This came with the spinner, so you can look for the spinner with the tools. This is great for spreading your pillow paint all over the place. Yeah, I think that's about it. So on the next video, I'll go over mixing and ratios and stuff. All right, thanks everybody. Have a good day.